Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors have started the season very well, and the players are excited and confident about making a strong run in the playoffs and winning the championship. One player who stood out in the preseason and has the potential to become a star soon is Moses Moody, who was injured and will likely return to the court today against Portland. Even if he doesn't return to the starting lineup, Moses Moody is recovered and will be a hit for the Warriors in the coming games. Moses Moody, the future star, is back. The Golden State Warriors are proving after 2 games that they are a force to be reckoned with this season. In their season opener, the Golden State Warriors made light work of the LA Lakers, winning a road game 119-109. To follow up, they beat the Denver Nuggets with an overtime victory, triumphing 137-131. Stephen Curry scored 42 points, proving his remarkable longevity and skill set, which shows no sign of slowing down. And the good news for the Warriors keeps on coming. Moses Moody set to return. The Warriors have not quite been fully healthy this season, with Moses Moody dealing with a calf injury. Now he is being slated to return in their next game, the second night of their back-to-back, against the Portland Trail Blazers. Anthony Slater reports that the Warriors are optimistic Moody makes his season debut against the Blazers. Takeaways from Warriors' victory over Nuggets. The Golden State Warriors hosted the Denver Nuggets in their home opener, led by the greatness of Stephen Curry. What began as a back-and-forth heavyweight standoff, marked by Aaron Gordon setting a new career high, evolved into a testament to Curry's ageless brilliance. The Warriors are now 2-0 and proving early that they can weather the storms in a stacked Western Conference. Discipline and defense from Golden State. After coughing up 18 turnovers against the Lakers, the Warriors buckled down with only 8 turnovers versus the Nuggets. The Warriors showed tremendous discipline and were able to convert 13 Nuggets turnovers into 16 points, while also securing 3 more steals and offensive rebounds. When it comes to playing the Nuggets and 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic, the margin for error is much slimmer. Winning the games within the game is how a team defeats the Nuggets, and the will of the Warriors was stronger on this night. Sustaining a winning mentality. The Warriors had 7 players in double figures, each contributing to winning basketball. Head coach Steve Kerr closed with what's being touted as the jumbo lineup of Curry, Butler, Kuminga, Green, and Horford. Kerr said this lineup never even played together in practice, but was recommended by assistant coaches as the best for the job, and it was. Standout players on this occasion included the always remarkable Butler, who scored 21 points, adding 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. Green scored 13 points, with 8 rebounds and 8 assists, showcasing lockdown defense. Rookie Will Richard has proved that under Coach Kerr, if you play well with Curry and the vets, you will earn playing time. The rookie shined, playing 17 minutes and compiling a modest 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, but there's no fear from Richard. The former NCAA national champion hit a 3 in transition in the 4th quarter that helped fuel a comeback for Golden State. Curry is still one of the best to do it. Curry doesn't just play basketball, he bends it to his will. After a quiet first half, the 2-time MVP erupted for 35 points in the second half and overtime, including 16 straight points for Golden State. A clutch 34-footer from Curry forced OT and shifted the momentum irreversibly. Curry finished with 42 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists on an incredible 73.6 true shooting percentage, outdueling Nuggets big man Nikola Jokic. Curry is now the oldest point guard in NBA history to score 40-plus points in a game, showing he's still one of the league's best at 37. This wasn't just a win, it was a blueprint. Golden State overcame a 9-point halftime deficit, a 50-point barrage from Gordon, and a late Nuggets surge, all while flashing the defensive resolve and ball sharing that defined their dynasty years. Draymond Green has already emphatically answered growing concern among Warriors fans. Dre is still Dre. After looking far from himself during 4 appearances in preseason, Draymond Green has quickly answered any concern among fans after another standout defensive display late in the Golden State Warriors' victory over the Denver Nuggets on Thursday night. Green looked out of shape and going through the motions in preseason, averaging just 5.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists while committing 3.5 turnovers per game. With each passing game, there was a growing concern among fans on whether the veteran forward was finally about to see a steep decline, having finished as a finalist again in Defensive Player of the Year last season. Draymond Green has emphatically answered any concerns over his form. It turns out that Green's horrific form in preseason can be put down to the fact that it was just that, preseason. The 35-year-old has built a reputation as someone who lifts when it matters most, which is exactly what's happened across the first 2 games of the regular season on national television. Green led a complete negation of DeAndre Ayton's impact in the season opener against the Los Angeles Lakers on Tuesday, so much so that the former number 1 overall pick drew heavy criticism from fans, the media, and former players in Golden State's 119-109 victory. The 4X All-Star had 8 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal and 2 blocks against the Lakers, delivering the sort of multifaceted performance that's made him one of the all-time greats of the franchise. Draymond Green held Lakers players last night to 28.6% FG and 0% 3 points. He followed that with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists on Thursday against the Nuggets, but it was his final defensive play in regulation that was most memorable as the Warriors claimed a 137-131 overtime victory. After longtime teammate Stephen Curry tied the game again with another absurd three-pointer, Green was the chief destroyer in disrupting the Nuggets' final offensive possession to force overtime. Having initially been on the perimeter guarding Jamal Murray, Green switched back onto 3x MVP Nikola Jokic and did it in time to contest his game-winning attempt that rimmed out. Draymond Green. Hate him all you want. Once-in-a-generation talent defensively. It displayed the sort of versatility that's made Green arguably the greatest defender of his generation, and why he continues to be such an integral piece to his team's success. It's also helped to emphatically answer any growing concern that arose in preseason, with he, Curry and Jimmy Butler looking like they have plenty left in the tank despite their advanced ages. Perhaps the fact Green remains as Golden State's starting center is worthy of concern given the toll it can take on him physically, but he certainly silenced any apprehension over his own form after a pair of impressive two-way performances. Wild Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green bet could determine Warriors' fate. If Butler wins this bet, the Warriors could be unstoppable. The Golden State Warriors got off to a hot start in the 2025-26 NBA regular season with a win over the Los Angeles Lakers at Crypto.com Arena, with Jimmy Butler proving a dominant force in the 119-109 victory. After the game, Butler revealed he has a bet with Draymond Green which could be key to the team's championship hopes. In his post-game press conference, Butler said he has a wager with Green that he would have a better free throw percentage than star point guard Stephen Curry this season. Jimmy Butler's bet with Draymond Green could be key to Warriors' season. Butler said he thinks he has a chance to beat Curry's free throw percentage this season, but when the 2x MVP was asked about the prospect of his fellow veteran star actually achieving the goal, he didn't hesitate in saying, "No chance. Jimmy, I've got a bet with Dre that I got to shoot a better FT percentage than Steph on our team." Steph Curry had no clue about this bet. "Steph, that's the first time I'm hearing of it. Do you think it's plausible?" Steph, "No chance. The whole bet is a little bit tongue-in-cheek obviously, but it is not impossible." Butler went a perfect 16 of 16 from the line in the regular season opener against the Lakers, giving the Golden State offense impetus after missing the final 3 preseason games. Unfortunately for him, Curry was also a perfect 8 of 8 on his free throws, so he doesn't have an advantage quite yet. Through his career, Butler has shot 84.4% from the free throw line while Curry has shot an incredible 91.2%. It would be a tall order for Butler to beat Curry, but perhaps it isn't impossible. However, if Butler can continue to get to the free throw line as regularly as he did against Los Angeles, that would be huge for the Warriors going forward. Butler can do it all for Golden State, but his ability to drive to the hoop, draw contact, and get to the line is something the Warriors need offensively. Everyone loves Curry's range from beyond the arc, but the fact that the team has a reliable presence at the rim who can get to the free throw line adds another dimension to the offense and makes things easier for everyone, giving Curry reason for hope as he enters his final chapter with the Warriors. Getting to the free throw line might not as sexy as Curry putting up a shot from near midcourt, but if the Warriors are going to have success this year, Butler spending a lot of time shooting free throws is going to be a big part of it. Even if it is a tall order for Butler to eclipse Curry's impressive free throw percentage, having the 6x All-Star relentlessly getting to the line and being efficient will make the Warriors an incredibly dangerous team this season. Warriors stumble into perfect move that might just make them unstoppable. They discovered something in Thursday's overtime thriller. We never even talked about that combination until tonight. That was the response from Steve Kerr after he and the Golden State Warriors stumbled across a lineup formula that could completely change their trajectory following Thursday night's heart-stopping overtime win against the Denver Nuggets. With just under 4 minutes left against one of the best teams in the league, the Warriors found themselves down 7 and unable to stop a rampaging Aaron Gordon on his way to a career-high 50-point night. That's when Kerr and Golden State turned to a closing lineup featuring Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, and Al Horford. Just under 9 minutes of game time later and the Warriors had turned that 7-point deficit into a stunning 137-131 victory, producing an early statement with their second straight win to open the season. Warriors may have just stumbled across their most potent lineup. The ironic aspect is that it wasn't even Kerr that came up with the idea. Rather, the head coach admitted in the post-game that it was assistants Terry Stotts and Chris DeMarco that were the brains behind the closing lineup. Terry suggested it. Chris DeMarco also suggested it. They just thought the way Steph was going, with Jimmy out there, we were going to score. That was my biggest concern. Can we execute? They just reminded me we have Steph and Jimmy and they'll find a way to score, Kerr said. Steve Kerr closed with Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, and Al Horford. It's a jumbo lineup, Kerr said, has never even played together in practice. Assistants Terry Stotts and Chris DeMarco suggested it late in the game. While Curry delivered astonishing shot-making on his way to another 42-point masterpiece, it was unsurprisingly the defense that stood up with a bigger lineup that found a way to trouble 3x MVP Nikola Jokic. After scoring 116 points in the first 44 minutes and 10 seconds of the game, the Nuggets were kept to just 15 points in the final 8 minutes and 50 seconds with the closing lineup on the floor. Golden State forced a miss from Jokic on a potentially game-winning attempt at the buzzer of regulation, then kept the Denver superstar to 1 of 5 shooting in overtime. Jokic shot just 8 of 23 for the game and had only 21 points. With that going a long way to the Warriors securing victory despite Gordon's ridiculous 10 of 11 shooting from three-point range, along with 25 points and 10 assists from star guard Jamal Murray. It wasn't overly shocking to see the veteran quartet of Curry, Butler, Green and Horford display their savvy experience down the stretch, but Kuminga as the final piece is certainly something Kerr didn't envisage prior to the game itself. The 23-year-old played another mature game, not necessarily standing out in the box score but playing his role in a way that Kerr and Golden State have been yearning for over recent years. Kuminga had a couple of big stops down the stretch, along with a calm Eurostep layup as the Warriors gained momentum in overtime. It might not have been a lineup Kerr had considered previously, but you can bet your life we'll see more of it in the future. It's a two-way unit that could obliterate many teams across the league and give the Warriors a legitimate shot at title contention this season. Warriors' blockbuster 3-team trade idea sends Jonathan Kuminga to Bulls. The start of the 2025-26 season is underway, and so far, it's been one for the ages. More news: Lakers announce Bronny James' status ahead of Timberwolves game. The NBA season is officially underway, and it's already delivered its share of drama, from nail-biters to outstanding individual performances. The on-court action has been nothing short of electric, but as always, the conversation inevitably shifts to how teams can make the next move to separate themselves from the pack. The Golden State Warriors are among the teams that fit that bill. The Warriors will look to make a massive move that puts them over the top prior to the trade deadline. One of their massive trade pieces remains their forward, Jonathan Kuminga. He's been on the team's trading block for some time, and after signing an extension with the team prior to the season, all signs point to Kuminga landing with a new team by as late as February. Nothing is set in stone, but the likelihood of him being moved is high. The Athletic's David Aldridge proposed this massive three-team trade that sends Kuminga to the Chicago Bulls. Warriors trade Jonathan Kuminga to Chicago for shooting guard Kevin Huerter. Bulls trade guard Ayo Dosunmu to Indiana. Pacers trade wing Ben Shepherd to Chicago and center Tony Bradley to Golden State. Kuminga's shelf life in the Bay is limited. The Dubs could end the suspense with a reasonable gamble that the 27-year-old Huerter can get back to being the elite marksman he was in Atlanta and early in his Sacramento days, which would be a good bet given the guys who'd be on the floor with him every night in San Francisco. Chicago would get 2 years to evaluate JK's skill set alongside Josh Giddey and Mattis Buzelis. Indy, see question number 8, above, would do well to add the long and pesky Dosunmu to spell Andrew Nembhard at the point this season, while potentially being a low-cost re-sign next summer to back up Tyrese Haliburton when he returns for the 2026-27 season. More news: LeBron James' retirement timeline predicted by former teammate. The Bulls appear to be one of a handful of teams that could be a great fit for the 24-year-old forward. Among the others who could make a move for Kuminga are the Sacramento Kings, Phoenix Suns, Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks, to name a few. Many things can and will transpire as the season progresses. Through 2 games in the season, the former lottery pick has averaged 15.5 points per game, 7.0 rebounds, 4.5 assists and 0.5 steals in 34.5 minutes of action.